So my uncle has been gay my whole life, and he's also had the same partner my whole life. So I feel like that's definitely shaped my view on gay men from a very young age, as I've always come to accept it, and I've never really questioned people's sexual orientation as I feel most people have. The only thing that I think um, did affect me in maybe a negative way is neither of my uncles are very flamboyant, or they don't act very girly at all. So when I do see flamboyant gay men, it kind of throws me off, and I almost have like a negative connotation towards them. But I do try to fix my thoughts rather quickly, which I feel like this could also be because I went to Catholic school. So there was obviously heavy stereotypes and vast discrimination there. So I feel like that's also something that could have shaped my view on flamboyant gay men. Also just because I'm not used to seeing that as much as I'm used to seeing two men who act like men, quote unquote, together. I think that's something that if I had two aunts that were gay, maybe could have impacted the way I viewed the world. Just because I feel like girls being lesbians is more socially acceptable than men being gay. So I feel like that could have had, if that was the intersectionality rather than my uncles being gay, then there could have been a different view of the world for me. My identity in the gender binary, I feel like, fits very well, as I do believe to be a woman. I believe that I was a little girl from birth. I've never believed to be transgender or felt that I was born in the wrong body. So yeah. Also, people have always treated me as a girl, so that also just reassured me as a kid that you're a girl, and I just went with it. I also exercise my agency, as I just kind of go with the flow, I guess. I just go with what everyone says. I'm a girl because I feel like that I am, and there'd be no reason for me to second guess that, as I've never felt any other type of way. The topic that has resonated with me the most in gender studies so far has been prejudice, just because I feel like I have gotten that a lot in my life, especially prejudice and racism. I feel like most mixed people can relate, as a lot of questions that I get answered upon even really knowing who I am is, what are you? And I get that people are asking me about my ethnicities, but I just feel like that's kind of a prejudice thing to say. Also, because of the way I come off, the way I present myself, people automatically assume that my mother is white, which she's not. Neither of my parents are white, actually. Well, neither of them are fully white, so in society's eyes, neither of my parents are white. I think what I've learned so far from this class about this is that prejudice isn't just about race or how someone looks. It can be multiple things, like many things beyond what I even thought people could have prejudice about. I think that this can also be helpful in my other classes, as I can see people who are being prejudiced and I can call them out, or I can see where people need help because they're being prejudged and maybe they're feeling down upon themselves, or feeling less than because of somebody's ignorant comment towards them. Something that I would change in my life to better exemplify the ethics and social responsibility objectives that we are supposed to learn in this class is, I feel like I would definitely try and change my initial thoughts upon people, as I feel like it's easy for a lot of people to prejudge or to have prejudice and have bad thoughts about people, like right as you see someone, just because of the society we live in and it's become acceptable. So that's something that I would try to change, my initial thoughts upon people. And I would also try to exemplify that, like these, by doing good actions for people who may seem different to others, or that people would normally have prejudice against, to exemplify to others these same objectives, and to also try to maybe get other people to change their thoughts and actions towards people who aren't necessarily the same as everyone else.